CTV Calgary. Local breaking news.
Good afternoon. Premier Danielle Smith says if there is no deal to end the province-wide teacher strike, her government will introduce back-to-work legislation on Monday. Meanwhile, at least 1,000 Calgary area teachers are on their way to Edmonton for a large rally at the legislature.
Danielle, she said that there's many ways to peel a potato in terms of dealing with teachers and going back to work and classroom sizes. So I put a Mr. Potato Head on there with like a scared look.
They boarded dozens of school buses early this morning in the Deerfoot City Mall parking lot to head up the QE2 for a massive field trip. Many more are carpooling. They will join a rally on the legislative grounds just as the throne speech begins inside the legislature to begin a new session. Teachers say they hope their message is heard loud and clear.
We're definitely a united front. We're saying things aren't okay in the classrooms, and we're there. We're sending that message as united teachers all together.
Yesterday was my first breakdown, a little tears because I'm just very frustrated, emotionally exhausted by the whole thing. And I think the part for me is just knowing like how little government is moving and how they are not like budging. They're saying that we haven't come to them with a plan. Well, yes, we have.
The teachers say they miss their kids and just want to get back in the classroom. More than 20,000 people are expected at the rally in Edmonton. 5 workers were injured after a manhole explosion near the BMO Centre. Calgary Fire says NMAX was working underground at the time of the explosion around 8 a.m. 5 people were injured. 4 of them were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Some fire was briefly visible, but crews on the ground responded immediately.
One of the procedures that the workers have is that they throw like an extinguishing agent down into the hole afterwards. So that's to make sure that there's no residual fire behind them. So that's where our crews just checked if there's any signs of active fire.
Both the fire department and NMAX are investigating. McLeod Trail was closed for several hours between 14th and 17th Avenue. A large grass fire started around 10:30 this morning near Airport Trail. Flames and lots of smoke could be seen just west of the Deerfoot. Firefighters are still working to put the flames out. So far, it's burned an area about the size of 2 football fields. The cause is still under investigation. Stricter bail and tougher sentences. That's all part of a new bill the federal government is putting forward.
It's bad enough that people feel the need to get cameras on their doorsteps. But in some instances, they're literally watching them, seeing people break into their homes and steal cars from their driveways. We can't accept this, not in Canada. Today, we are changing the law with a stronger focus on public safety.
The Justice Minister says the legislation includes stronger laws to keep repeat and serious offenders off the street while improving supports and providing better tools for law enforcement. The federal Conservatives say the bill doesn't go far enough. Pierre Poilievre says rampant offenders should automatically stay behind bars until they are acquitted or their sentence is complete. After a break-in this morning, the camera store is offering a reward. Surveillance video shows the thief filling a hockey bag with professional cameras and lenses. The store says hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of gear was stolen. In hopes of finding the suspect, the camera store is now offering a $5,000 in-store credit for information that leads to a conviction. The Alberta government has settled a lawsuit with a coal mining company after the province reversed course on coal mining in the province. Evolve Power will receive $95 million in taxpayers' funds. That follows a decision by the province to revoke coal mining licenses in the Crow's Nest Pass. Another company, Atrium Coal, will get $142 million from the province after it lost its coal license in Alberta. The Alberta Medical Association says the cost of barriers to the COVID vaccine will likely be in the tens of millions. The AMA says having to pre-order and pay out of pocket will result in fewer people getting the shot. It estimates if even 5% of Albertans, or about 250,000 people, forego the vaccine, it would mean more than $65 million in spending on hospitalizations alone. At 20%, that cost rises to $262 million. The numbers are based on a 15% infection risk, which the AMA says is a plausible scenario based on wastewater data from last year.
Vaccination offers a strong return on investment, and we actually think that it's prudent to ensure that a public health program that is designed to prevent illness needs to be robust, and we need to remove all the barriers.
The province says its COVID vaccination plan is in line with guidance from the National Advisory Committee on Immunization, which suggests COVID-19 vaccination should be considered optional for healthy, non-senior adults. The province is encouraging more Albertans to go the private route for screening services. Since 2023, wait lists for scans have been ballooning. In Calgary, you currently face a 426-day wait to get an MRI. In hopes of reducing those wait times, the province is offering to cover the cost for private MRIs, CT and body scans, and blood work. But there's a catch. You will only be reimbursed if a previously unknown condition is found, and that condition needs to require timely diagnosis and pose a serious threat to a person's health, function, or life. Friends of Medicare says this plan escalates the privatization of healthcare.
I think this will help the public system because we will have a private market that will come into Alberta that then has the ability to expand access, gives us more equipment, more people that would be able to provide that access to Albertans. Right now, the system is overtaxed, and we need to create situations where we can enhance it even further.
The province says before tabling the new legislation this spring, it will be meeting with stakeholders across the province. The second round of voting for Alberta's new license plate is underway. The shortlist includes the standard red on white, Moraine Lake, an Alberta flag with mountains, and 2 ranchers with a pump jack. Service Alberta Minister Dale Nally says 150,000 Albertans have voted so far. The winning design is expected to be announced by mid-November. The province unilaterally decided strong and free is the new slogan. The teachers' strike has forced a local organization to pivot and make some changes to its Classroom of the Crosses program. Soldiers are helping Valour Canada set up a display at Calgary's Field of the Crosses on Memorial Drive. Most years, hundreds of school children come down here to learn about the sacrifice of young Canadians in war. But now, with the strike, the organization is pivoting to Plan B.
And Plan B is to open up the tent and the classroom and the field for all Calgarians to come down. If they have students at home, children at home, we'd love them to come down to the Field of Crosses.
And we have to recognize that in spite of the fact that we live in I think we live in the greatest country on earth, these wars continue, and young people and families are touched every day.
The display will also include an exhibit inside the Calgary Curling Club focused on Vimy Ridge. Sunrise and sunset services at the Field of Crosses begin November 1st. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more on the top stories coming up on CTV News at 5 and 6 or anytime online at ctvnews.ca/Calgary.